In previous class we learnt about Coulomb's law in vector form, properties of charges. Now in this class the subtopic is principle of superposition, or it is also known as force between multiple charges. In class 11 you have studied that the displacement due to several waves on any point equal to the vector sum of the displacement produced by individual waves, and any wave is not affected by other wave. In a similar way, there is principle of superposition in charges. That first I am drawing here coordinate. Force according to principle of superposition, or force between multiple charges, that force on any charge due to other charges which are in rest, and the force is taken one at a time equal to the vector sum of the force exerted by other charges on that charge, and the presence of charge will not affect the force due to any individual charge. Here I am taking one charge Q naught, and other charges Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4, and we can take also Qn in the same way. So force on charge Q0, Q naught due to other charges equal to F0 1 plus F0 2 plus F0 n. So F01 we will take on which force is acting, we will write first, and which force is exerting force after that. So force on Q naught charge due to Q1 will be in this direction, due to 2 it will be in this direction, due to Q3 it will be in this direction. So first we will find F01. So it will be 1 upon 4 by epsilon naught, as we know by Coulomb's law, Q naught U1 upon R10 square. The distance taken from the which charge is exerting force. Similarly, F02 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q0 Q2 by R20 square. In the same way, we can find 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught UN upon Rn. Understand? Then again I am explaining principle of superposition, that force on any charge due to other charges equal to the vector sum of the forces exerted by the individual charge on that, and these other charges are in rest and they are taken once at a time, and the presence and the force between two charges will not affect the presence of other charges. In mathematically we can see here that let F naught is net force on Q naught charge due to charge Q1, Q2, Q3 and so on. So F naught is equal to F naught 1 F01 vector plus F02 vector up to F0n vector. So we can find in this way F01 vector. The force is acting in which charge we will write first, and which is exerting after that, and it will be by Coulomb law we know 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught Q1, and the distance is taken which charge is exerting force first and at which charge force is exerted later that. So net charge will be net force will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. You can take common Q naught, we can also take common, and it will be Q1 by R1 naught R10 square R10 cap plus Q2 upon R20 square 0 cap and Qn by Rn naught square Rn naught cap. In we can also write it this way 4 pi epsilon naught sigma I is equal to 1 to I is equal to n Q I upon R I naught square R I naught k. So the value of I is from 1 to n. If we open this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught Q1 upon R10 square and R1 naught k. This is a very useful principle. By this principle we can find force on any charge due to many other charges. Now we will discuss about the charge distribution. Charge is distributed first linearly, means in line. When charge is distributed along line, then it is called line charge. Let this charge let dq charge is spread on dl length. A linear charge density denoted by lambda, defined as the charge per unit length. The charge per unit length with lambda is equal to dq by dl, or dq is equal to lambda dl. So to find total charge. Q is equal to integral 0 to L lambda V. And if charge is distributed in a plane surface, so it will have area. So then charge per unit area is known as surface charge density. Charge per unit area is known as surface charge density. It is denoted by sigma. Sigma is equal to dq by dA. If dA is, we take area dA and dq is charge distributed in this area, then total charge on the surface will be sigma dA. Surface charge, unit of surface charge density is coulomb per meter square, and unit of linear charge density is coulomb per meter. Unit is coulomb meter inverse, and for this unit coulomb meter minus 2. When charge is distributed in a volume, then charge per unit volume is known as volumetric charge density. It is denoted by rho. It is dq by dV. If dq charge is distributed in dV volume, then charge distributed per unit volume will be dq by dV, or dq will equal to rho dV. Now q integral rho, and unit of volumetric charge density is coulomb meter minus 3, coulomb per meter cube. Now force on any charge due to distribution of charge. Let first there is a charge is distributed in volume. So for in dV volume the charge will be if volumetric charge density is rho, then in dV volume it will be rho dV, and another charge q naught, the position vector of this is r1 and of q naught is r naught. Then distance between this charge distributed in volume and q naught is, suppose it is r dash, and r dash is equal to r naught minus r1 in vector form. The force on charge q naught due to volumetric charge density, it will be it is a small force due to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught rho dV q naught upon r dash square and r dash cap. So due to total body F naught will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught integral rho dV upon r dash square and r dash cap. Similarly, we can find due to charge distributed in a surface and force on any other charge Q naught, it will be given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught sigma dA upon r dash square and r dash k. It is due to surface charge density, means charge distributed in a surface and Q naught charge is at a distance r dash from it. In the same way, the force on Q naught charge due to linear charge, means charge is distributed along a line. It will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught lambda dl upon r dash square and r dash cap. Thank you.